we might miraculously finish on time, if not early today. How about that? All right, so I done showed you the types of campaigns we can use. Campaign number 1, I'm going to walk you through mine, by the way, is results in advance campaign. That's where we have the series of videos, and then you say, hey, give me some money at the end, right? Campaign number 2 is a webinar. That's the proper spelling of webinar, spelled webinar. But y'all didn't know that. It's Nordic. Campaign number 3 is book launch, which is the most difficult and confusing of the campaigns. Probably going to be the most popular, just to spite me. But not so complicated and confusing that you can't do it. Campaign number 5 is the evil scheme letter, which I'd never really done. Campaign number 4, rather, sorry, is the evil scheme letter, which I never really done showed y'all. This is the most technologically easy, but a little more labor intensive on the close, right? So all of these, I think I'll stick with this big whiteboard. All of these, by the way, what I want y'all to do is just pick one, and we're just going to focus on making one of these work this quarter to hit that goal. You got the rest of your lives to master these 4. Let's just pick one, do them, make the money, go, yay, I made the money, and then implement the other stuff if you like. All right? So the way these all work mechanically is pretty easy. We always begin with traffic source. My favorite to test is the Facebook, all right? To a landing page with a CTA on it. CTA is just call to action, right? So depending on which type of the campaigns, your call to action would be register for the webinar, all right? Opt in to get the 4-part video series. Could be the other CTA. The final CTA could be, it could be buy my cheap ass book or whatever it is, or apply to be my student. That's if you're using the evil scheme letter, which I haven't shown you yet, but it's the easiest of them all. Then we have indoctrination in all but one of them. Right? So the RIA campaigns have an indoctrination sequence. The webinar has indoctrination on the webinar itself. The book thingy has indoctrination because it leads to a webinar and they consume the cheap ass thing that they bought. All right? And this is just a little description here. And then the indoctrination leads to the application. Pre-sale. Okay, that says app, not ADD. All right, and then you close. The only one that does not have indoctrination is the evil scheme letter type, which again I'm about to show you. And that one just goes landing page with the call to action, which is straight to here. Right? Evil scheme letter, there's benefits of all. The benefit of the evil scheme letter is it requires 0 technical ability because you just stick a letter and add to a letter and they apply to become your customer. The downside of it is you talk to more people before you convert someone because you have to do the indoctrination in the phone call. Right? So that's where you're going to have a much longer phone call. We've done both in our business. Our close rate from the evil scheme letter was like 1 in 8 phone calls. So with each phone call was 90 minutes, which I don't really see the point in doing that. But that was the case the way we were doing it. That was what, 12 hours would be $8,000, so you're making like, is that wrong?
That's a lot of us. That's too much work.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, some people's okay. So that's the pros and cons of it, right? So if you're just like, want to do something in the next 15 minutes, you could run an evil scheme letter and be talking to potential clients like tomorrow, right? So that's for fast implementation-ness-ism. Okay, are y'all almost ready to start talking shit about that chick that's walking out the door? Almost. Nothing? We're not talking. Oh, damn it. I mean, you weren't going to believe what she did last night, but she's still here, so I can't say it. You're not going to believe what she called you. Yeah. But we've been watching Real Housewives in Atlanta while we're eating lunch and during breakfast and stuff, this whole trip here, and I feel about 90 times stupider. And all I want to do is be like, what did she say about who? Who said what about what? All right, any questions about this so far? Mm-hmm.
What are your ratios for this class?
For this particular class?
Right. From the letter to the webinars or this videos and to the phone calls.
Thank you for asking that question. You just jarred I totally forgot to give you guys something cool yesterday. What?
Nothing.
Oh. Why are you pointing at Kathleen? Why are you a Kathleen pointer? You're not going to believe what she said about you.
Yes, I would.
Yeah. She's such a bitch. Okay, I want to give you all something. Did we do the offer creation worksheet? What the hell is wrong with you people? How could you forget that? Don't count on me to remember it. Look at me. Jesus. Okay. Pause button. Thank you for drawing my memory with that question. I need to give you the offer creation worksheet. I want to walk you guys through how this thing came to be. Would you like to see how this whole class actually came to fruition? All right. So this is like an inside glimpse into how I actually plan and create stuff. So the document that you're getting was created on the 3rd of October, and it was created in my empty office because everyone had gone home, so it was safe for me to go there. There'd be no human interaction. I drove all the way from my house in Rancho Santa Fe to the empty office because I did not have interwebs connection at my house in Rancho Santa Fe. I had to use for like 2 months one of those damn Verizon wireless card things, and there was like a molecule of fog somewhere within the western part of the United States, so the internet wouldn't work. So Natalia and I rode over to the empty office, and she chilled out and messed around on the iPad, and I wrote out this outline to create this course. All right, so living in Rancho Santa Fe. So here's how this whole class came to be, right? So I sort of gave you all the backstory earlier. So this dude named Greg comes to La Jolla to work with our little buddy Christian Weaslyak, who's the PPC ninja guy, who's like evil genius for traffic running and getting. Dang it! No talking. God, Sunday. Bastards. Bestiality motherfuckers.
You know, I almost made these guys sit in the back. You know what I did to them today when they came? I said, you sent me a message.
Did you spank them?
Everyone in the front has to sit in the back. Mm-hmm. And they actually bought it for cheap.
Nice. So Greg teaches Christian PPC Ninja Guy this webinar technique thingy. It's how to sell super expensive stuff, and he sells like $200,000 worth of shit on it, which was great because his list is like tiny, right? And they're used to buying $97 things from him, and they're doing this totally weird, like super weird PPC to CPA offers that's just like math. You know, I can't even think about it without feeling anxious. It's that type of horribly unpleasant stuff, but some people like that kind of thing. So Trey says, you know, I'd like to make a shitload of money and try this, and I would like to do significantly better than Christian, so I can fuck with Christian about it. So these dudes, all of us actually like constantly do things like send the other an email and say, dude, this is really important. I just learned something new about NDA webinars. I think you should check it out. And then the link will be like cnn.com/breaking news, China, whatever. And then we'll change the hyperlink in the email to point to like a picture of a giant penis. So that's the type of shit we're always like trying to outdo each other. So Trey's like, I'm going to defeat Christian, and then constantly send him pictures of penises by email as a way of taunting him. So Trey does it. Runs through the same process that we ran through, does $1.7 million over the course of like 3 weeks or something. No launch, no affiliates. Y'all didn't even know what happened, did you, right? Because it's just totally under the radar, no weirdness. So he's like now sending me pictures of penises because he made so much. I'm like, God, man, that's unbelievable. So I say, well, hell, I'd like a whole bunch of money. I think I'll try to do this thing too. So I came up with, what am I going to do to make a whole bunch of money? And thus drove to my office in La Jolla, made sure nobody was there because God help me if there's human interaction, and sat down and created this little page over the course of about 2.5 hours. So I start, and when I plan stuff, which is rare, admittedly, I start with the goal, right? So my original goal was 150 people, which would be 1.5 million bucks wired to me by 12/1. I realized quickly after talking to y'all on the phone, there's no way I could teach this well with 150 people. It'd just be too much, right? So that's okay that I didn't hit the goal because it's more important to teach it good. And then I just came up with like, what's the hook for the webinar? And you've got a worksheet too to go through this, but don't look at the worksheet yet, just work at my little thing. All right, look at my little thing. So the webinar hook was, over the past 4 years, you've paid me over $15 million or whatever to turn myself into a respected celebrity and authority in this niche. Sign this NDA and I'll show you how I did it. At that point, I didn't even know what the total was. So that's why I put or whatever. Like when you're writing and brainstorming, you don't know the exact figures or the exact details, just put or whatever, or just make up unbelievably stupid shit so you will realize that it's unbelievably stupid and change it after the fact. Whatever you do, don't stop and self-edit. It'll screw up your creative process and mess up your overall wah. Then the 10K offer. For me, I just came up with names, stuck with Operation Total Freedom. The Liberation Initiative was just weirder sounding. I don't think the name is really that important. Right? I think how you can help them is much more important than clever product names and so forth. Then you have the main benefits. I just wrote this down. Finally get a fucking info business up and running without buying a bunch of shit and without overwhelm. Become a celebrity in the process. Get paid for it. Simplicity, clarity, profitability, freedom, big profits, pride, no big staff, no big overhead. All right? What you get, hang out with, associate with Frank, that should be something that would cause you to get a discount, really, and get complete A to Z training on how to create a high-paid, celebrity authority-based info marketing and coaching consulting business, plus get the exact blueprints for successful products and campaigns handed to you for your use, specifically with this model. Distinctions, this is important, and you'll see it in your worksheet here. This isn't like normal info marketing. This is a specific blueprint for becoming the highest paid celebrity authority in your market and for creating the products and campaigns that get you there without having a big staff and without relying on launches. Maximum money, and this is me just brainstorming stuff, right? Maximum money, minimum time model, paid indoctrination plus automated ascending offers, high ticket products, 5K plus. Then how this is delivered, right? So this is just me brainstorming on how I'm going to teach y'all stuff. Then I just literally sat there and brainstormed what the class would be like, right? And just wrote it out. That's it. I mean, as you can see, we stuck kind of with this outline. Now, clearly identify your income goals and why you have them. Brainwashing yourself for success. I skipped that. You should still do it, but I skipped it because I thought you probably would bore you guys. Becoming a peak performer. Get the 10s, you have to be a 20. That's another thing I thought would maybe bore you, but if we have time, I'll discuss it later on today because it is of vital importance, right? Then day 1, part 2, so forth and so on, just outlined what the hell I was going to do and say. Now, that was just me vomiting stuff onto the page, right? There is a better, more productive way to do it than just vomiting stuff on the page. So, as it turns out in the creation of your curriculum/product process, there's a pretty simple way to do it that I'll walk you through, and then I'll walk you through the official offer creation worksheet, and then we'll get right back to the creating of the traffic and the stuff to get you there. But I think it would be pretty helpful if I helped you get an exact, super clear idea on exactly what you're going to give to your victims. So, we know this part, right? They're at point A. They want to get to point B. Everything we do, including marketing and product delivery, coaching delivery, done for them delivery, everything is all about the major milestones they have to go through to get from point A to point B. So let's say they're not in the business of buying and selling used cars and they want to be. Well, the first thing they got to do is learn how to buy the car. Actually, first thing they got to do probably is like get a license to do it, but everyone's bored with that. So first thing they got to do is learn how to buy and sell the cars, right? Or find sources, right, of cheap cars. Second thing they need to learn how to do is buy the cars super cheap. Third thing they need to do is rehab the cars and make sure they're worth selling. And this is me just guessing, right? So by no means is this right, but whatever. Fourth thing they need to do is advertise the cars. Fifth thing they need to do is actually close the sale, right? Or whatever, right? I mean, I'm not in that business, but let's just say those are the major things. Everything you got, you're going to have these major things, right? Y'all remember doing this yesterday? Okay, the drugs have worn off, which is good. There's always more, right? So check this out. The way you design the minutia of your content is you do the same process for each milestone, right? So now you have a timeline. You don't have to do it. I just, for some reason, like the horizontal timeline. You can do it vertically or whatever. But let's say your first milestone was sources of car buying, right? Now here's your A, and your B is knowing where the good sources are. You would just teach what's one source, like classifieds. Another one might be divorced people, recently divorced, trying to liquidate their assets, right? Third might be auctions. Fourth might be whatever, repo. I have no idea, right? I mean, I just go to the dealership and lease them and try to lose as much money as humanly possible with each transaction, right? And then you would just teach a little bit about each one. So there's no need to like overwhelm yourself with how am I going to create the course. You just do the A to B milestones with every milestone, right? And you don't do an A to B milestone with this. This would be like part 1 of your webinar for week 1. This would be part 2. This would be part 3. This would be part 4. And if you're writing a bullet point or making a bullet point and a sales pitch for this, now you have the 4 main ways to find sources of extremely inexpensive cars that you can flip easily for massive profits. All right, and you just are delivering exactly what you said in the bullet point. So we're reverse engineering every single thing. The second A to B bullet point was I forgot what it was. Let's say we're just totally switching markets now and we're talking about the dating stuff, right? And one of the milestones they have to get through is approach. Well, the art of actually learning to go up to a woman and say hello without vomiting on her or urinating on yourself or her, unless you're into that. Not there's anything wrong with that, Jake Hinder. There are major milestones you have to go through to learn that. I have no idea what they are, right? I mean, I just literally chloroform people, and that's the way it works, you know. But there would be milestones for that. So I guess like milestone number 1 would be planning in advance what you're going to say, or openers. Thing number 2 might be jokes. Thing number 3 might be wardrobe, whatever. I really don't know. I mean, this is how to make myself look stupid, right? Thing number 3 might be chloroform. It's a good one. Works real good, right? So your 4, 5, 8, whatever major milestones, you just take that main milestone, break it into sub-milestone, and that is your curriculum for each module. So one major milestone in your journey from point A to point B for your clients equals one module of what you're teaching. The module is broken down into the sub-milestones to get to that point. Does that make sense? Anyone need help with that? I got a couple people looking at me like I'm weird. Huh?
Is this in a video?
No. Does it need to be? You want me to do it slower?
Yeah.
The 4 major milestones you just break down into the missile master. This is Master Jake Hinder. Right?
Is that a letter? Is that a video? Is that anything?
Yeah, this is how you're delivering the class, right? So how you deliver this information. I thought you were asking me if this...
After they bought or before they bought?
After they bought. So this is the creation of your stuff that you're selling, right? So if you're giving consulting on local business, there are like 5 ways they can increase, like the lawyers, right? There's 5 ways the lawyers, 5 major milestones the lawyers have to pass through to increase their victims, right? Number 1, identifying the perfect victim, right? Number 2, figuring out how to reach the perfect victim, right? Whether that's direct mail, billboards, the newspaper ads, whatever it may be. Number 3 is writing else that we've ever learned about making the box big enough to add extra value and thud value, just forget all of that. We're all in the business of moving people from point A to point B, period. That's it. And once, man, you do that, then they love you, they come buy more stuff from you, they refer you, and you sleep great at night, and your life is super easy because all your customers are cool. So and they're like, oh, I bought this box of shit. No, my DVD number 97 is scratched. You don't have that.
How do you differentiate between the okay, for example, if you want to sell like a $5,000 group coaching, but then you want to do like an upsell, like the high-end $10,000 mastermind thing, how do you say, okay, I'm going to teach this in that, but this is going to be higher level, so, you know what I mean? Like,
Dude, you teach them everything you possibly can to get them from point A to point B in the class.
Yeah.
Like, withhold nothing. But don't actually withhold what will be confusing, right? But don't this whole useful but incomplete shit is shit, right? Help the people to the best of your ability, and then be like, hey, if you want more of this stuff and you want to stay in touch with people like you and talk about how to grow your businesses or your relationships or get fit or whatever it may be, I got this mastermind and you might want to join at the end. That's a pitch that works pretty good.
But like for the actual mastermind, do you do the whole milestone point A to
No,
B
but I'm the worst mastermind guy ever.
Yeah, okay.
So don't model mine,
Yeah.
right? Although people have told me they liked them, I'm just amazed that they did, because it's like, well, dude, we just sat around. But sometimes people like to just sit around.
Yeah.
But if I were to structure a mastermind, every time I would take let's say you're going to have 4 meetings throughout the year, which probably is a little much because people got to travel to them, but let's say it was 4. I would choose let's say it was business you're talking about, just because that's the world I live in best. I'd choose 4 major components of the business, where there's lead gen, conversion, product delivery, upsells, whatever, and I would have someone come as a guest speaker. So each meeting would be that would be the topic. Then I have a guest speaker come, like a really fucking badass guy, like Cialdini or something, come and talk, and then there'd be Q&A, and then we do the usual, hey, what's working for you? What do you need help with type of stuff? And then each meeting would have a theme, so it wouldn't be I don't know, man, what do you guys want to talk about now? You know what I mean?
Hey, Frank, this guy back here has a question.
How much of this do you put in your copy for the sales, webinar versus just telling them what they're going to get, what the results are going to be? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. The right way to do it is to do all of this and then include it in your copy, because everything. It's always best to reverse engineer, right? So when we were doing the car thing, all right, let's say we were wanting to do webinar copy for this. It'd be, you have the 3 main things to do. You're going to discover the 3 main pillars to finding a market of people who want to give you money. And we said that because we just figured here are the 3 main milestones to this big thing. We reverse engineer everything, so when you're delivering it, you're delivering exactly what you said in the copy. When I make my webinars, I never ever plan them, and it's almost always in some reactive state of coma or, fuck dude, I forgot I got a webinar in 2 hours, webinar. Don't do it like that. Actually plan it out. And we'll talk about webinars in a little while after we get these mechanics of the campaigns down. So right now I just want to make sure this is clear to everybody. See? I can repeat it if it's short.
So similar to his question, for this, or what you did with One Man Million, where everybody comes in and needs, then what do you teach during that time if you taught it all?
We really just kind of screwed off. He's asking when you do group coaching, you have 8 weeks or whatever of distance coaching, and then everybody gets the chance to come to a live meeting, whether they're from class number 1 or class number 2, doesn't matter, right? And he's saying, what do you do during the live meetings? We just kind of messed around, reiterated the stuff we taught, and then said, all right, dude, so you did real good with this. How'd you do it? What worked? Man, that's cool. Here's some ways to make it better. And so you had mentioned you'd have some problems. Coming up here, let's fix the problems. Super laid back stuff. Probably better to structure it. Our guys had a good time, though. The inclusion of the live event has 2 purposes. One, to add something that's just cool that people are going to like, so you can meet your customers, hang out with them. And 2, to pitch the next thing. Right, so the main purpose of that from a monetary standpoint is to pitch the mastermind. We pitch masterminds at all. I think Kevin pitched one at our last one. I didn't pitch it because I didn't want to do one, so he pitched his own. But during all of ours, we'd always be like, hey, if y'all want to join our mastermind, give us a bunch of money, it's cool. And we'd get people to say, yeah. We had a mastermind that brought in, before we killed it, I think it brought in $600,000 over 7 or 8 months, so it's worth doing, you know what I mean? So just pitch the mastermind at the live event. Okay, final question before we move on to the offer creation worksheet.
Okay, this might be done might be a dumb question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. I want to know a little bit about how soon it has to be delivered after you do the pitch.
This is amazing. So you can wait weeks, right? Now, your merchant account guys might not be cool with this, so just make sure they are cool with it. But when we were doing it, sometimes we'd be in the middle of a class, and it would be weird to put them into the middle of the class, right? So we'd be like, look, we have a class running right now, and the next class doesn't start for 3 weeks. And they'd be like, okay, great. And we would always like give them a couple videos and stuff, just some grounding materials, just to be cool. I don't even think it was necessary. I think half of them never watched them. They're like, all right, whatever. These higher level people don't really worry about that. Case in point being y'all, right? I mean, I've sold most of you guys 4 weeks ago, and it's not like there was a lot of cat juggling or anything going on over the 4 weeks. I sent a couple emails. I was really excited about the class, but man, it's going to be fucking cool, and I asked you to do your homework, and that was it. Nobody asked for anything, I don't think. Did anybody ask for anything? No. God, it would have been great had someone done it. We could have fucked with them. Like, why do you have to mess it up for everybody? I almost had a good answer for this lady, and it had to be you as the one person, right? So I wouldn't really sweat it. I mean, you don't want to be like, yeah, later, but they just don't care. They're not like that $97 buy. They're like, where's my 20 million bonuses I can just look at and never use? They're like, okay, great. Cool. I'll see you then. I'm stoked. Anything I need to be working on? You say, yeah, work on this, or no, don't worry about it. We're going to start then. It's tranquilo, Okay, so we got that. Now we have the official offer creation worksheet. So this is a real good way to get super clarity on your offer. Thing number one, what is the goal of the offer for you? So just like I said, I'd like to have $1.5 million wired to me by December. Didn't make it. It's okay. Can't really teach the class well that many people, so that's fine. So whatever it is for your offer that you're about to make, what's the goal of it? Good thing would be that by March 16th goal number. But whatever the number is for you, doesn't matter, right? But let's have a goal. Everything we do should have a purpose, with purpose, on purpose. Good. Keeps you moving, makes you know why you're moving that way, right? So you fill that in. And then what's the big ass problem that the offer addresses? Mine would be not making enough money in your business or not enjoying your business. I talked to a lot of folks who had business, they just didn't like them. Like, man, I don't dig this anymore. How do I make it fun, Change up the business a little bit. Then your main benefit is, what's the main benefit? So it could be finally get more customers for your jewelry store. Finally get a predictable flow of victims for your criminal defense attorney business, right? Replace the income you had before you retired and have something to do for the used car business. Could be the man, of course, learn how to buy and sell used cars. Finally sell more houses than that asshole Spadankiewicz who's got bigger billboards than you, or whatever it may be for your victims. If you guys don't start offering extremely expensive stuff, I'm going to kill you. By the way, starting with Mike. Yeah, because he's not here. Did y'all get a little wild and loose last night?
Took it easy.
I don't believe that bullshit. What'd you do?
Took it easy.
Does that mean you only strangled one prostitute, or did you actually go to bed at a decent hour?
Some did try to follow, but
You saw them rolling and you started hating?
No.
Yeah, they were trying to catch you riding dirty? Is that what it was?
Nothing else.
Do you want to quote any more late 90s rap songs? This is important. How is this different? Well, step number 4, what do they get, right? In this case, there's really no need. This isn't copy, by the way. This is just to clarify for you exactly what you have. When you know exactly what you got, you can sell it easy, right? It's when you're unclear about what you're offering to people and the benefits it'll provide to them, that's when you're going, our goal is to metaphorically kind of, how butterflies like to eat pepper and then there's sticks and sunshine? Well, we have that, but then it's for this, and then you just use the secret. We're trying to avoid that. That doesn't sell anything ever. So what we're trying to do is just for your sake and your sake only, get you crystal clear on what you got, what it's going to do for them, right? So what do they get? ain't got to write 900 pages on what they get. It could be 8 weeks training on exactly how to get more clients predictably and dependably for your criminal defense business. It could be a complete A to Z blueprint delivered over 8 weeks on how to buy and sell used cars for a profit in your spare time, even if you've never been in the business before. It could be exact blueprint training on how to finally get the woman of your dreams and quit spending times in bars with sluts or with non-sluts. Right? Whatever it is that you got, that's it. Right? Ain't got to be nothing hard. Important thing, once again, I'm going to hammer you guys about step number 6. Oh, sorry. How is it different? Skip that. Super important. How is it different? Right? So with me, I wanted to really clarify this is significantly different from normal info marketing. This is not mass control. This is not list control stuff. It's not info millionaire. This is very specific business models and implementation of campaigns for a specific end, which is the high-paid advisor model and or the deliberate structured selling of goods and services, ultimately, hopefully, leading to a more expensive sale. Right? So how is it different is a big deal. And the reason it's a big deal, by the way, is because that's what they're going to be asking. What's the difference between this and Dan Kennedy's newsletter? What's the difference between this and Neil Strauss's stuff? You know, what's the difference between this and that other dude selling lawyer stuff? Or what's the difference between this and Yodel or something like that? You know, so that is a very, very big deal that you need to be able to answer within your mind and to your clients. And if the content isn't different, your answer can be, well, you know, where you would with that other program, just buy books and tapes and be left on your own. What we do is actually handhold you through the whole thing. This is a class. This isn't a product, Dr. Jones. You're actually enrolling in a consultative group coaching service with other doctors where every week you're going to be held accountable and have your questions answered on the phone as we walk you through the exact specific steps to get from point A to point B. So I'm pretty sure that you asked to work with me the other day when you filled out that application because you wanted to get more clients, not because you wanted a box of stuff sent to you in the mail, right? So we're not in the sending box of stuff business. We're in the helping you get more clients business, and that's what we do. See, that's how to answer that question, even if your content is exactly the same, right? Step number 6, you list the major milestones. That's it, because you need to be able to tell them the major milestones, right? So if I'm teaching beginner internet marketing stuff, like, yeah, this is a specific coaching class designed to teach you how to get an information business up and running on the internet, even if you're a newbie. And here's exactly how we're going to do it. We're going to start with defining exactly what it is you want to do, what your income goals are. Then we're going to teach you how to find the market of info product buyers on the internet. And there's 3 main ways we teach you to do that. Remember, I know it's 3 main ways because I've already broken down this first milestone into the sub-milestones, right? So when I'm pitching, there's 3 main ways we're going to teach you how to do that, and none of them are hard. They're all free. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to determine which products are selling the best, and then I'll show you how to do one of 2 things or both, your choice. You can either sell these products as an affiliate. I'll show you how to do that, and I'll show you how to do it without wasting your money on products that don't sell, or you can find out what's selling really, really well and have a similar but better product made, which is what I recommend for you to do. Third, the way we're going to do it is then we're going to teach you how to create and design and implement a sales funnel to actually sell more of your stuff and for maximum profitability. And finally, we're going to teach you how to drive traffic to that sales funnel. See, that's how I would be pitching this little thing that I'd outlined hypothetically for you. I know there's probably more stuff you're going to do, right? And when you're telling them each milestone, you say, now there's 4 ways to get your product made. I'm going to show you 2 places to do it. Whatever it is, you already know because you've done the sub-milestone thing. So you got a crystal clear outline of what you have. People buy confidence a lot. So the more you know about what you have, the more you know about exactly what it's going to do for them, whether it's in person, in print, or in video, the more confident you are, and that confidence sells. People want to be led. People want someone stronger than they are within the context of what we're dealing with to lead them from point A to point B. And if you know what you're doing, you know exactly what you got and exactly what it'll do for them, they will pick up on that confidence and they will follow you. And I can't say it enough, make sure what you got is good. Actually help them, right? So I'm not teaching you how to be a confidence person, I'm teaching you how to help people and use your confidence in your own abilities to get more people to let you help them. And then finally, step number 7 is how are you going to deliver it? Ain't got to write 2 hours on that one. Just 8-week course, series of videos, box of stuff, telepathically. Where are you that actually was doing the... There you are. No, that wasn't you. Who was I talking to that's doing the phone interviews and making shitloads of money? Are you in here? Where'd you go?
She's on the phone.
Oh, she's... Well, let's talk. You're not going to believe what she said about you. Okay, so that's your offer creation worksheet. So I forgot to give you that yesterday. Well, we ran out of time. I wish I could go back in time and given you that at the beginning of the day. But I think that will help you clarify a lot on the original statement, which is, my name is blank. I commit to making blank by 3/16. I will do it by selling blank for this amount to this many people, right? So now you know. Now, does anyone not know? Is anyone still lost on what I got and what would help? It's okay if you are. Speak now so I can take to helping you. Anybody need any help specifically with that? Important to me that you get the help you need when you need it. Standing right here. Everyone cool? All right, super awesome.